Hey, welcome back to the Mind Your English podcast. How have you been recently? Me? Well, I've been rather busy, doing a lot of work, basically recording loads and loads of videos, especially for YouTube. And also, as you may notice if you're watching this, or maybe if you're listening it sounds a bit different, I'm in a different country. I have traveled to Brazil. Woohoo! Right now I'm in Sao Paulo, and I'm in the park. It's called Ibirapuera Park. It's a little bit hard for me to pronounce, but it's a lovely park. It's massive. It's gigantic. Really, really big and beautiful. Loads of stuff to do. Really cool. Well, most importantly, or even more importantly, today on the podcast, I'm going to be joined by a very special guest, Leo, a friend of mine, who is from Brazil. Now, Leo has a really interesting story because he is self-taught. He taught himself English by watching movies and TV series, and he was able to shadow, sort of copy, how people speak and pick up the language, which is absolutely amazing. I don't think I could do it, to be honest. Leo is also an English teacher. He has his own channel. I'll put it in the description below if you want to check it out. He's got some really cool and funny videos, so they're interesting to watch while you learn English. He's also really into cycling. He's a cycling enthusiast, and he's more into American English, unfortunately, but that's okay, each to their own. But anyway, on today's podcast, whenever we have a guest on, we talk about three amazing things. Firstly, Leo's going to talk about something that improves his day, then something personal that really matters to him, and finally, something he has a strong opinion about, a hot take, okay? And the last thing, so make sure you stay around to the end of the podcast, he's going to share with us his favorite word in English. So, without me jabbering on for too much longer, let's jump into the podcast. All right, Sao Paulo. Is this your, how many times have you been to Sao Paulo?
I think this is my maybe my fourth time in here.
Fourth time? Okay.
Fourth time in here, yeah.
Nice. And
Usually have seasonal, times that I come down to enjoy the city. Spend a week here or so.
what's a good time to come to Sao Paulo?
Well, definitely for me, the good time to come to Sao Paulo is not during carnival season.
So across Brazil, the carnival's at the same time?
Carnival is at the same time. It happens usually in what is it? Maybe I'm not even sure, but February. From the 12th, I think, if I'm not wrong.
But it seems like every city has it at the same time, right? Obviously, Rio's the famous one. But
Same time, same days, yeah.
Same days,
I'm
yeah.
not sure about the what happens, like programmation, but same days, yeah.
And why do you hate carnival so much?
Oh man, it's it's very messy out there, I'd say. It's very noisy, and I don't know.
Kids are coming over now.
I just realized that.
Man, not sure about those guys.
Yeah.
You don't think they're sketchy? No?
Let's see if they really come closer.
All right, let's not look at them then. There's some sketchy guys over there. So, but anyway. Yeah, they don't like coming closer. How do you feel? Nothing.
I feel alright by now.
Okay. So yeah.
But stay aware.
Stay aware.
Never know what's happening in the
Keep your
surroundings.
bearings. You got to keep your wits about you.
So we was talking carnival.
We were talking carnival before the sketchy guys came over. Yeah, carnival. So why do you hate carnival so much?
Let's say I just enjoy being. I just enjoy more like of a quiet side. Just contemplation. I'm not really much about party type of guy. Not anymore. I've been like that, but.
Yeah, it is quite. I went last year for the first time, and it was full on, like every day. It's just like I think the first blocko, like the first party starts at 8 a.m. and then like you can party till 6 in the morning. So there's like a 2-hour window where you have sleep.
2-hour window, yeah.
But yeah.
That's very intense. That was back in Rio, no?
Yeah, Rio. Yeah. So people say Bahia is better, but I've never experienced either, so I don't know. But you probably haven't experienced either of them.
I had a chance to go to Carnival once in Curitiba, but never been to those very crowded places, let's say. But yeah,
Fair enough. Curitiba, how is it different from Sao Paulo?
Curitiba in general is more, let's say, you can still find parties in there. It can get crowded, you know. But I would say the city itself has more of a conservative side. Let's say tend to be more close in Curitiba.
Oh, really? A bit more European?
European style. Yeah, yeah.
You like that? You prefer?
If I prefer, honestly, I think. Again, I had my time there. I've been living there for now, what, 5 years? I realized that just the other day. It's enough for me. I wanna chase something bigger. Like, been thinking about São Paulo a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because of the people. In fact, people in São Paulo don't seem to be as closed as Curitibanos.
Really? Okay. I was only there, when I met you last time, I was there for 3 days, was I?
3 days. What was your impression about it?
I thought it was really cool. I really liked the place. It seemed like very alternative and pretty chill at the same time. And the funny thing was that everyone told me from other parts of Brazil, everyone, like when I went to Rio or I went to Bahia or other places, they always said, Curitiba, the most unfriendly
Most unfriendly
in Brazil. And
that was not your
that was
impression.
yeah, everyone kept coming up to me like, are you Australian? I'm like, no, I'm English. And they were like, oh, in a little conversation. Yeah. So many chit chats. I couldn't believe it, but maybe just got lucky that it was 3 days. But yeah.
For 3 days, yeah. And what was your greatest take about Curitiba at the time?
I really liked the park. The park was really cool in terms of like having sort of a very green space to go to, and having like sort of, I would say, wild animals there. What are the big rats called?
Big animals, big rats.
Not rats. What are they called?
These are the capybaras.
Capybaras. They were really it's really cool to see them just sort of knocking about the city, like just hanging out, wild animals.
Yeah, and this is the first time you saw them, right?
Yeah, never seen them before. We don't have many in England. We don't have any
capybaras.
Well, capybaras are amazing, in my opinion. And shifting from capybaras to you, what's your first amazing thing? Something that improves your day?
Something that improves my day.
Yeah. Something that improves your day.
Well, it definitely makes a huge difference in my day if I started slow. It's very important for me. That means not thinking about what works, like straightforwardly thinking about work. So what do? Basically, I start my day, drink a pretty fine glass of water. Start with a glass of water right after you wake up.
Right.
Yeah.
First glass of water.
That's important for you to get your system working, to know that you're fully awake.
True.
Right after that, I would have maybe some stretch right after in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes meditate.
Oh, really?
Really do some breathing exercise. That really helps before I do anything else in my day, like maybe for 15 minutes or so.
I've tried meditating. I just can't do it. I feel like I'm too stupid to kind of get into that space. Like when I've done it before, I just get really relaxed. Maybe that is what you're supposed to do. But I kind of get relaxed and then fall asleep. I don't really have the spiritual awakening or the spiritual feeling, which is annoying. I would love to be able to get there, but I just I just feel chill.
Yeah, this is the beginning, really. Beginning of the practice, because the mind never really rests.
I am a beginner. That's true. Yeah, I feel like I need to. But I feel like, for example, to take from that, I would say this year one of my things I'm trying to do is be bored more often, like to purposely sit there and do nothing and just like.
How's that going?
It's actually I've only got it down to maybe like twice a week, where I just sort of sit on the sofa and I just stare at the wall and just let my mind wander, rather than think, I've got nothing to do, let me open my phone or watch a movie, or it's okay to be bored. I think it's good. I don't think we have that anymore.
Yeah, constant stimulation, man.
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't watch social media, but apart from instant English, that's fine. But yeah, but okay. So the most important thing for you is sort of starting slow. Like, taking care of yourself
Right.
personally and spiritually. And
Yeah, yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, start the day with a lot of thoughts, and that just builds anxiety, in my experience.
fair enough.
In my experience,
Yeah.
we got some more fellas
Some more
coming
fellas.
down.
Got some more fellas coming along.
So stay aware, stay in the loop, and watch yourselves. All right.
Going on to the next one then, what would you say something personal that matters to you?
Something personal that matters to me. Something personal that matters to me.
Yeah, like, I think in England, the local pub is important for everyone because it's a place where people can go and like moan about their job, or if someone has a problem, they can go there and talk to a friend. So it's like really important for people to have that space to go, that third space. Is there something for you that like is really important for you? Like say it could be meditating again, or
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Since I've been working from home for a while now, I notice having conversation with people is really important. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy being alone. I like my solitude, but there's moments also when I notice, for example, when I don't really talk to people because I can stay home all day long and just be focused on like doing my thing there. But on those days that I don't really talk to people, let's say the energy tends to go a little run low, let's
really?
say. So for me, having this interaction with people is really important, especially face to face.
Yeah, I think like I don't want to moan about working remotely because it's amazing, right? You can do whatever you want. You can eat when you want. You can do your laundry if you need to. You can exercise or whatever. So it's amazing, and you don't have to commute to work. But there is a downside. I think mental health is like a big thing where if you're locked, I can spend like 3 days locked in my room or my house just working and maybe go to the shop to get groceries or whatever, but that's it. And then I think like if you're having a bad day with your family or girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, going to the office kind of helps you to shift that narrative and like kind of think about something else, because the person at work doesn't know that you're sad. They just talk to you about random stuff, right? But if you work by yourself at home, you don't have that thing that breaks your routine, that thought pattern. So sometimes I get in the thinking, or I get into a pattern where I'm constantly thinking about bad thing, because nobody's interacting with me. So it is good to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. How do you break that? How do you break from that?
You have to get out, don't you? You have to get out of the house. Yeah, difficult.
Yeah, and this is a habit. Also, and something that adds up to that is a habit I come up with. I try to get. Let's say, I try to leave my home at least once a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether that would be for like do the shopping or even for just to take a stroll around the block.
Yeah, walking's great for you, isn't it? Yeah.
It really like shift the thoughts sometimes, and it's really good for coping with that. Let's say.
Do you have like a place you go in Curitiba, like where you walk, or you just go around the block?
Walking around the block. That's the thing I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Just keep walking around.
Actually,
This guy's crazy.
My thing in Curitiba is it's been really about cafes, which I've pretty much visited all of them already. So places I go to, I've been going to parks, spend some time in nature, beautiful nature. You gotta enjoy this.
No, you could walk around here for hours and.
Yeah, just walk in a circle, just right there, like
Yeah.
doing nothing at all. But but yeah, places I've been going to is literally parks and cafes. That's what I do.
That's cool, man. Nice. And what was the other thing? The other thing was the final, and something you have a strong opinion about, sort of a hot take.
Mm. It's difficult to come up with one of those because I was thinking I don't really tend to I tend to question a lot of things, but I don't often have an opinion on it. But if I think of something right now, something I have a hot take. Um, let's say pretty much like what you see, the way you see other people says a lot about who you are from the inside. let's say you come up with a judgment, you see someone and you have an opinion about them, whether it's good or bad. What you think about them, what do you think about them is often linked to what's inside you. Is like a projection of your thoughts.
Right. But what if it's a good judgment? Like, oh, this person is intelligent or something. You still think maybe you shouldn't judge, or it's just something inside of you that.
I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but it's a thing like it's an opinion that, for example, if you say something good about someone, that's all right. I mean, that's only gonna help them with their energy.
Well, I don't know. Some people don't like it. Like, I think a lot of people in the UK just think of Latin America as one big group, and therefore everyone in Latin America is a good dancer.
Right.
And I've met people before like, oh, I don't like that stereotype, and I'm like, well, it's like a positive one. You can dance, and they're like, yeah, but I don't like, So maybe sometimes even positive stereotypes people don't really like or vibe with.
But maybe it depends on what can we call positive really. I don't know. But for example, if you project something bad onto other people, that guy, if you think that guy's a dick, like there's probably something inside you that has been repressed that made you form that opinion on him.
Yeah.
If you judge people a lot, that's why I say like I don't usually have this habit of judging people. I think it's important to question everything, but
What did you think about maybe before, like obviously your English journey, and then once you got to a certain level, I suppose you had some interaction with gringos.
right.
What was your sort of thoughts about gringos before you maybe spoke to one? I don't know when the first time you met like a foreigner.
That's a great question. I was always curious about the outsider type of life. The type of life like someone from abroad always sounded like it looked very curious to me, and I was always fascinated. Still am fascinated about what's out there. But the question you're asking is like how I used to see them.
But before you actually had an interaction with foreigners or gringos, and I assume that once you got to a good level of English, maybe you had the opportunity to have a conversation with someone online or maybe offline.
Yeah.
And did it change your opinion? Did you think, oh, maybe this was wrong or this was right, or they're not so loud or they're not so warm or whatever it could be?
Well, one thing is for sure, man. Once I was able to speak to them, to be able to communicate in English, because something that really shifted us, that I got the chance to really know who they are. So I can't really think of something that changed or shifted that perceptive of if they were something or not. But I just remember being really like fascinated about being able to do that. I can talk to foreign people communicating in English, and this is so cool because it opens doors, let's say.
Yeah, sure. Totally. Yeah, I think like learning another language or having that opportunity to kind of really speak to someone, like I could speak to someone from another country but in English, but when you speak in their own language, you kind of get a really different perspective, a deeper understanding of them, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And how like want to ask you, how's that feel for you, since like you've been learning Portuguese for what?
I would say 1 year, but off and on.
Off and on.
Yeah.
Did you have any impressions about Brazilians before the first time you came here?
I think I just kind of thought they were very talkative and free-spirited. So in terms of like just loving life for whatever it is, and that is kind of what I saw when I got here. People just kind of embracing every day, not thinking about what's wrong, but more thinking about what they have or what's going right. And that's kind of why I learned Portuguese, or I wanted to start, because I noticed that I had other friends around me who were English, but they spoke Portuguese, and they were talking to people on the street. And I really wanted to jump in and like, oh, this looks fun. This looks like they're having a good conversation, but I couldn't. So I was like, that feeling of being left out was what really sort of inspired me to, start taking classes.
And how do you feel today communicating in Portuguese? Because you can throw a few words.
Yeah, I think it's more I can understand because I have the Spanish to help me because there's a lot of similarities. But then it's kind of just responding is. I think I'm still in that nervous stage where you're not like the nerves are affecting me speaking more than maybe the level. So it's like I don't and I don't say anything.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's something I have to get over really, just kind of speak. But luckily, people in Brazil like to have a bit of a chat, so it's quite easy.
And at the moment, you're only learning Portuguese.
Portuguese, I still study Spanish. I still sort of review things in Spanish and that kind of thing. Look at some grammar and then try and use it. But yeah, I think for me, 3 languages is probably enough in terms of my capacity. That's it. Well, talking about words and languages, did you have a favourite word you like in English that you want to share? Any word at all. Could be slang, could be a bad word, could be an American word, unfortunately.
Fortunately, guys know what he's talking about. You know, I always liked listening and observing like the way people speak and the way Southern, like especially Southern American English, is where really gets to my head. And I really like the word ain't.
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 It's pretty versatile.
And many students, they often say, how do you pronounce, how do you use ain't? Because it can be tricky for beginners when they don't really like have an overview of how it works. So ain't, and it's a word that I often use. And, you know, like it can be used in case you're watching this and you don't know how to use ain't. It's like for he, she, it, right? It's a negative for he, she, it, or it's basically I don't, you don't, whatever, negative form.
You could also say there. It could be there is not. There ain't any milk left.
Exactly.
So it's pretty versatile. I can't really think of any way that you can't use it really.
Exactly.
Even if it's a bit wrong, you can still squeeze it in there. So he ain't no fun. He isn't any fun.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Ain't is a good one, yeah. We use it quite a lot in the UK as well, but I think it is a little bit more American for sure. All right, so that's everything for another episode on Mind Your English. I think this is the second interview I've done, and it was a lovely little chat. We talked about loads of different things: mental health, southern states of the US, some slang like ain't. So in general, a really good chat. Remember, by the way, if you want to follow the podcast with the transcript, you can click the link in the description. It should be just below, whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, whatever, it should be below. So check that out, and it can help you to pick up some natural phrases, some new words, and that kind of thing. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mind Your English.